Hi, I'm Kate Johnson from Heritage Business Services, and I'm here with a quick tutorial to introduce a application called Melio, and it integrates with FreshBooks, and it's a way for you to get paid for free. You don't have to bear any of the costs that if you use FreshBooks Payments or some other payment provider like a Stripe or something or a Square. Depending on what kind of business you run, this might work well for you. Couple of caveats. If you are a high volume invoicer, this might not be the best solution because the integration is certainly not where they want it to be, but it does work, and I've used it several times myself and was able to get paid with no fees. So I've tested it out. But I just want you to be warned that this is not something that if you are sending a bunch of invoices that you would probably want to use because your time is valuable and saving a small percentage on your payment processing fees at some point is going to not be worth it, and you'll value the seamlessness of staying inside the FreshBooks General Ledger. But say you have an invoice and you need to get paid and you just want to let that vendor pay you. They're going to decide if they want to pay with a credit card, and then they would get hit with the fees, or if they want to pay with their bank, then they don't have to have any fees, and neither do you. So this is Melio, meliopayments.com. I'm in the Get Paid section. You can come here and you can also see that they're also able to be used for accounts payable. But this tutorial is about accounts receivable. So I'm going to go to Login. So this is my account. So down here in Settings in the Accounting Software Sync, I don't exactly know what this is going to look like for you. I'm already synced, so I don't want to disconnect myself, but you will have the option of which general ledger. I think they connect to QuickBooks, to Xero, and to FreshBooks. You will connect to FreshBooks. Now, it took a while for my sync to work. So don't do this if you have to send someone an invoice immediately. I think it took about half a day for it to work. And basically the general problem with this integration is that the sync is not instantaneous. They're using a third party. They built this connection to FreshBooks via a third party. Anyway, you're going to want to sync your Melio to your FreshBooks. This is only available for accounts receivable, AR, from FreshBooks to connect to Melio. Now I'll just take a moment to show you what it's going to look like inside of your FreshBooks as well. If you come here to the Apps and Integrations page, this is another avenue by which you can connect your Melio. I can't remember exactly how I did it, if I started for FreshBooks or for Melio. I think the best way is to start from Melio, but this connection right here, when you're in the Apps and Integrations, you'll be able to search for Melio and find it. And you'll see that I am connected. Okay, so let's dive in and see what happens when we create an invoice. Okay, now I'm going to be working with some screenshots that I took to present this. So the first step to be able to get paid for free with Melio is to create your invoice in FreshBooks. Actually, I'll take that back. You can use Melio as your invoicing platform and just create an invoice directly in Melio. Maybe I'll create a video about that one day, but this way it's in FreshBooks as well, and you probably have all your client data in there, and it's really a better place to operate out of. So you're going to go to FreshBooks and you're going to create a new invoice. So we've created the invoice, and now you're going to hit the Send To button up here. After you hit the Send To button, don't hit Send Invoice. Instead, you're going to hit Create Shareable Link. After you hit Create Shareable Link, you're going to hit Got It, Mark as Sent. So what this is doing is this is putting the invoice fully into FreshBooks, but it is not sending it to your client, even though you'll have your client's email in there potentially, because maybe you're going to use FreshBooks Payments another time or whatever. This is allowing the invoice to be pushed into FreshBooks without notifying the client. All right, so then we're going to journey back over to Melio. This is where one problem lies. So I'm back in the settings, and you see this button that says Sync Now. You would think that you should be able to hit that, and then Melio is going to go into your FreshBooks, and it's going to find there's a new invoice in there, and it's going to bring it over. Problem is, the Sync Now button is not instantaneous. I have seen it take up to maybe 4, 5, 6 hours to sync, no matter how many times you hit that button. But if you're watching this later, potentially they'll have fixed this and that sync now button would happen right away. But if you're not in a super hurry and you're not really worried about like having a maximally efficient workflow time-wise, and you really do want to save those fees, you would be able to wait. And then you're going to get an email when your FreshBooks and Melio sync. It's going to be several hours later, and it's going to be an email from Melio, and it's going to say, there's a new invoice in Melio. So once it happens, you'll be able to log back into your Melio, and you're going to come back here and you're going to be in the Get Paid section. And you will see in Get Paid that we now have an invoice. It says it's overdue, but that's because I had put the date as paid immediately, and I think I didn't check this until the next day. The invoice has been synced. You'll see it over here, and we will be able to hit Send Payment. Once you hit Send Payment, you will be able to put the email address in there if it's not there, and you hit Send Payment, or you can do shareable link, which that would give you the link to then be able to put it in your own email to send to your client. Then we'll just keep walking through the workflow here. So now you'll see that this has gone from unsent to sent. I will let you know the rest of the process whenever your client pays the invoice. Then it will be moved to in progress. I believe you get an email at that point as well. And then several days later, you're going to find this in your bank account, and you'll also get a notice that it is paid. If you hit paid, you'll be able to see all the invoices that have been paid through Melio. The last thing that I want to share is just an example of what the client is going to see. So this is what is created whenever that client is opens the invoice in Melio. I feel like it looks pretty handsome. It has the look of the FreshBooks invoices with the items. You know, if under the word description, if I had several items that I was billing him for, there would be 3 lines there, or 4 lines, or whatever however you build your invoice. So one benefit of using FreshBooks payments is that it kind of seamlessly tracks when an invoice has been paid and marks it as such inside your FreshBooks. So when you get paid with Melio, that's not going to happen. So this $500 invoice had a $500 payment, but FreshBooks, even though my bank account's connected, it's not able to see and match that. So you do have one final step where this is the invoice that was sent, and it needs to be marked as paid. So you go to the invoice, you open it, go to More Actions, click Add Payment. So via ACH, Add Payment. And now we are marking this invoice as paid in full. Actually, let's see if we can edit that. One quick thing, I made an error it says you added payment on October 13th. I'm recording this after the fact. I would have wanted to put the date that I got paid, which was probably about, mid-September, because he paid promptly. So you would change that date right here to have a more accurate account of the time, if you're, as a cash basis reporter, when that cash came in. So I hope this video was helpful. I know maybe it was a little rough because I was trying to use screenshots that I had taken a little while ago in the process of, to document all the steps to take to use Melio. It is a tool that allows free AR and free AP. The integration with FreshBooks is only on the AR, the accounts receivable side, but it doesn't mean that you can't use it to also make payments. You can pay contractors, you can pay bills this way. So check it out, it's free to use. They are a rapidly growing company and getting lots of funding from investors, and so hopefully the FreshBooks integrations will continue to improve. Please reach out to me if you have any questions at all about your FreshBooks, about accounts receivable, about accounts payable. I'm here to help. You can always book a free 15-minute consultation with me. I'm here to help as you build your business legacy.